Hello, learners, welcome back to English Hub. And today we are here with the poem Gift of Grace, honoring our vacation. The poet is anonymous. Anonymous means that we don't know particularly who is the poet. This poem is anonymous, meaning the name of its author is not known. Anonymous poems are common throughout literary history. Many folk songs, hymns, community verses, and celebratory poems were passed down orally or in print without the poet's name. Though we cannot identify who wrote this poem, the voice within it is unmistakably warm, inclusive, and celebratory. The poet writes as an observer of India, someone who listens to the sound of working life around them and find beauty, rhythm, and dignity in every vocation. So the title Gift of Grace honoring our vacation tells something very important. Gifts mean something precious that is given to us. Grace is kind of a blessing, a divine favor, something beautiful and special. Honoring means you are showing respect and appreciation to that thing. Vocation is our profession, our work, our calling in life. So, gift of grace means our professions and skills are not ordinary thing. They are precious gifts given to us by God or nature. Every person's ability to work, whether as a carpenter, cook, boatman, or electrician, is a special blessing. The word honoring in the subtitle tells us that the poem will celebrate and respect all kinds of work equally. In short, we can say all vocations are divine gifts and blessings. Now, let us learn about the poem. The poem Gift of Grace, honoring our vocation, celebrates the dignity, diversity, and beauty of different professions. It portrays the idea that every type of work has its own value and contributes to the richness of the nation. The poet describes Bharat, India, as a place where people from many occupations proudly perform their duties and express their identities through their work. Now let us see the poem. I hear Bharat celebrating the varied vocations I hear. Those of craftsperson, each one celebrating their craft, woven with colors and myriad hues, the artisans with lutes, each hailing varied emotions and celebrating dreams. Echoing in the streets, the carpenters celebrating, they create anything out of wood with mathematical precisions. The electrician humming, they get ready for work, work with cables and wires to brighten our lives. The boatmen gathering their nets from the shores, sailing and singing while at work, return to tell the tales of life at sea. The shoemakers affirming the quality of their work, for the feet that walk, dance, run, jump, return home. The delicious singing of the cook, or the rhythm of designer, mason, each celebrating what belongs to them and to none else. The voice of their vocation is the voice of their identity. I hear Bharat celebrating the varied voice I hear. So, this was the poem. Here is the stanza wise explanation of the poem. And the opening line of the poem is I can hear India celebrating. Here, the poet tells that Bharat, as a land, is full of joy where people are engaged in different occupations. And here the poet is telling that he can hear, that he can listen to all the sounds of India. All the sounds of India full of people working with joy, and they are engaged in different kinds of occupation. The poet proudly lists many different everyday profession. He hears the craftsperson, artisans with lutes, the hammers of carpenters, electricians, the song of boatmen, shoemakers, cooks, designers, and masons. Each workers is shown celebrating their own craft with pride, rhythm, and joy. Every worker is happy and proud of what they do. Next is the craftsperson. The poet describes craftsperson as creative individual who create, who celebrate their craft through skills and imagination. Can you think of a weaver making beautiful sari or a cloth piece or any kind of a cloth piece with many different colors? With their beautiful imagination, they create beautiful patterns, beautiful structures they made on that piece of a cloth. And their work is not just a profession, but also a form of artistic expression. The poet says these craftsperson are not just doing a job, they are creating art. Every color in their work tells a story. Next, we have the artisans with lutes, basically musicians. Artisans play musical instrument and they expresses their different emotions. Sometimes they spread joy, love, or sometimes it could be sadness and hope and dreams that echoes through the streets. And these dreams echo through the streets. Their tune travel through the streets and touch people's hearts. The poet says their music is also a form of hard work and deserves the same respect as any other job. The poet highlights the beauty and the cultural richness brought to society by skilled workers. Next, we have carpenter. Carpenters are admired for their work, for their mathematical precisions in woodwork by creating different kinds of furnitures. Each worker contributes something important to the society, and whether they are building, repairing, or creating or providing services, they are basically using both skill and intelligence. It is like solving a mathematical puzzle with wood while they are creating uh, Building, tables, chairs, doors, and roofs. All shows different kinds of structures with mathematical precisions. Next, we have electricians. The electricians approaches work with contentment and purpose. And the electricians humming a little tune while fixing the wire in your house. He is cheerful and content. Humming signal a relaxed, positive inner state. It humanizes the electrician, showing a person at ease in their vocation, not merely burdened by it. It creates an auditory image. The poet cleverly contents this humming to the gentle hum of electricity flowing through a wire. Without this person, there would be no light in our homes. So these people are basically creating the light for us. The electrician who brighten our lives hums cheerfully, creating work as a calling. Next we have boatman. The boatmen are shown sailing and singing while at work. When the boatman rows his boat on the river, cast his net, he sings a song as he works. Gathering their net from the shore, he sings. These vocations fulfill fundamental human needs such as food, water, shelter, and nourishment. His work brings fish to our plate. The poet paints a beautiful, peaceful picture of him at work.
Free, joyful, and connected to nature.
Next, we have shoemaker, cook, designer, and mason. The poem presents a detailed description of craftspersons, artisans, carpenters, electricians, boatmen, shoemakers, cooks, and many other who perform their respective job. Whether a shoemaker makes sure your feet are comfortable and protected, or a cook fills your home with delicious smells and nourishes your body. A designer who creates a beautiful thing that brings joy and color to life. A mason lays brick one by one to build the home we live in. Each of these persons works with great dedication. Their work is quiet, often invisible, but without them, life would fall apart. The description of their work create a vibrant musical experience which demonstrates their happiness and commitment to their work. Now comes the closing line. And what is there in the closing lines? We have the voice of their vocation in the voice of their identity. The poem ends with the most powerful statement: vocation is equal to identity. The closing line mirrored the opening, creating a circular structure. The poet still hears Bharat, but now it is not just vocation being heard, it is voices. Each worker has found their voice through their work. India is the choice of all these voices together. This means a carpenter is not just a person who cuts the wood. Cutting wood is who he is. A cook is not just someone who makes food. Cooking is his soul. What we do for work defines us. India's real identity is made up of the voices of all these workers together. So, this was the whole poem. Now, let us see the central theme of the poem. Every job is honorable. The poem does not place the designer above the shoemaker or the electrician above the boatman. All workers are celebrated equally side by side. All are important, whether they are carpenter, electrician, shoemaker, cook, designer, everyone are equal. This is a direct message to the students and society. No honest work is inferior. Work is an expression of the self. The poem's most important line, the voice of their vocation, is the voice of their identity. It tells us what we do is the part of who we are. So, this is basically the central theme of the poem. Four big ideas of the poem are dignity of labor. Every worker in the poem is shown with pride and skill. No vocation is present as lowly or unimportant. This challenges the idea that some jobs are more respectable than others. Celebration of diversity. India is celebrated through the variety of its workers. The poem shows that India's identity is woven from the skills of many hands, many crafts, and many communities. Work as identity. The final lines state clearly that the voice of their vocation is the voice of their identity. A person's work is not separate from who they are. It is their self expression, which shows their identity. Next, we have harmony and community. All these workers exist together, contributing to a shared society. If anyone is missing, then who would be doing that work? That question comes up here. So, everyone is equal and every work is important. The poem presents India as a living, breathing community of skilled people, each playing their part, and each are equally important. Now let us move towards the literary devices or the poetic devices. Here we have repetition. Repetition of the line, I hear Bharat celebrating. The poem repeats this phrase and each celebrating to emphasize the sense of unity, joy found in every vocation. This repetition helps creating rhythm, making the poem more memorable and engaging. Imaginary can be seen. The poet beautifully uses vivid visual imageries such as woven with colors, the boatmen gathering their net from the shore, and many more. All these brings a beautiful pictures of different things. Alliteration can be seen celebrating their craft, C sound, and sailing and singing repeats sir sound, creating smooth flowing effect that mimics boat's gentle motion. The poem is written in free verse without a regular rhyming scheme. The varying length of lines mirrors the uniqueness of each vocation, with each line differing just as each craft does. The structure gives the poem a conversational spoken word quality, capturing the authentic sounds and sights of India's working world. Now let us move towards the important word meaning. Here we have vocation. Vocation is a kind of a profession or calling, specially one requires dedication. Grace, beauty, elegance, and God's favor. Artisan, a person who is skilled in making things by hand. Lute, an ancient string musical instrument. Hues, shades of color. Mason, a person who builds the thing with brick and stone. Mathematical precision, doing work with great accuracy and exact work. Humming, making low, steady musical sound. Myriad, countless, a large number. In all, we can say that the poem emphasizes that no job is small or unimportant because every vocation plays a role in building and supporting the community. Through this message, the poet encourages respect for all kind of work and the people who performs them. Now comes the summary. Imagine waking up one morning and listening carefully to all the sound around you. You hear the carpenter hammering, a cook singing while stirring a pot, a boatman chanting on the river, an electrician humming while fixing a wire. The poet hears all these sounds and says, "This is India." Every worker, every craft, every honest job is a gift of grace that holds our nation together. No work is small, no work is unimportant. Every person deserves respect no matter what work they are doing. So, this was the whole explanation of the poem. Hope it is clear to everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to English Hub. See you in the next video. Take care.